What's the deal? It's your boy Rodney the Boss, multi-platinum and Grammy Award-winning producer of Lil Wayne on the Carter 3, Plies, Lil Boosie, Mr. Magic, Rocco. The list just goes on, you know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with my girl, Amber Alert, on the Takeover on the AATI network.
Hey, it's Riff. You rocking with Gemini the Queen.
Yo, what's good? This is your girl, Gemini the Queen, DJ Amber Alert, always by my side. And today we are here for some bull fucking shit. Listen at this. Now, you know, if you've been around here, you know that I covered the Ghislaine, Maxwell, everything. Damn everything about that shit. Everything about the flight list. Everything about Jeffrey Epstein. All that shit. Well, today, Ghislaine was sentenced, and it's giving bullshit to me.
Epstein's abuse of underage girls. Prosecutors say that she recruited and groomed 4 girls between 1994 and 2004 for Epstein, her longtime associate and former boyfriend. Before the judge read the sentence, Maxwell spoke to the court and the victims, but remained defiant, saying, quote, "I am sorry for the pain that you experienced. I hope my conviction and harsh incarceration brings you pleasure."
Harsh. Bitch, listen to this. This bitch said harsh. And did you hear how she talks down in court? How dare you, harsh?
And we're following that breaking news out of the Southern District of New York, where Ghislaine Maxwell has been sentenced to 20 years for sex crimes involving her ex-boyfriend, Jeffrey Epstein. Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted of procuring women and young girls, young women, for Jeffrey Epstein, so he could sexually abuse them. There's no other way to put it. And Michael Bryant of the Law and Crime Network was actually down there at the federal courthouse for this sentencing. So, Michael, tell us what was going on. What did it seem like? What did the mood seem like when Ghislaine Maxwell received that 20-year sentence from Judge Nathan?
Yeah, it was, as these things go, and there's a lot of buildup. It was 2.5 hours from the time the hearing began. And so a lot of anticipation, but the biggest moment, aside from the actual sentence being pronounced, was when Ghislaine Maxwell made a statement. She made one heck of a statement. If you didn't know better, you would think she was addressing, some highfalutin society dinner club. She acknowledged all of the victims who gave very heartbreaking statements as well. She acknowledged that Epstein is an animal and a monster, and he manipulated people. Bottom line is, she came off as, hey, I'm just one of you. I'm just one of the victims here. And there was no real remorse. There was acknowledgement of all the things that these folks went through. No real responsibility. And that's key to the sentence that was imposed, because the judge said just before imposing that sentence, I saw no responsibility being taken by this defendant. And the guidelines would have given her somewhere between 18 and 19 years, give or take. So there was an upward departure of sorts by the judge herself. And I really think she tied it to the fact that this eloquent statement that was made that did not involve any acceptance of responsibility for what these victims had gone through.
I don't find that completely surprising, given what we've seen from her counsel in this case and some of the statements that have been made in court documents and things like that. Michael, I am just stunned that she actually spoke. Obviously, at trial it's much different. You have a Fifth Amendment right. You don't have to get up there and testify and incriminate yourself, possibly. But still, the fact that she spoke at sentencing and painted herself as a victim is stunning to me. Prosecutors actually wanted 55 years. They wanted an upward departure. So, wow. I'm just absolutely floored by what you're saying. Tell us a little bit of what the victims, what did the victims in this case have to say? I can only imagine.
Yeah, they all paint this just horrible history of first meeting Ghislaine, and then through Ghislaine, Epstein, and then just the sexual abuse began almost immediately. And they were all in a point in their lives where they were vulnerable. They needed friends or money for acceptance, and they were given all of those things. And oh, by the way, here's some rape and molestation along the way. Sarah Ransom gave a tremendous a speech, as it were. There were 2 survivors that spoke that were not technically part of the trial because they were of age at the time these crimes against them took place, but the court allowed them to speak. Sarah Ransom was one. She's from England. Had just a very heartfelt message to give. A little more spitfire came from Elizabeth Stein, who has been suffering in silence till the day the verdict came down. She came to this courthouse from Philadelphia almost every day during the trial, sat in silence in the back of the courtroom, not telling anybody about any of her life experiences. And then when the verdict came out, she came out. And we're going to have a great opportunity to chat with her and share that with our Law and Crime audience a little bit later. So they both shared one core message, which was, you beat us down, you broke us, but we're still here, and we're coming back strong, and you can't take that away from us.
I want to turn now to Julie K. Brown, an investigative journalist for the Miami Herald, who's reporting broke the Epstein scandal wide open. Julie, good morning to you. I know a lot of accusers, survivors thought, what took so long? Was Ghislaine Maxwell, according to authorities, actively hiding out?
I think she was hiding more from the media probably than anything else. I mean, she had this big luxurious home that she reportedly bought up in New Hampshire, and so it's hard for me to believe that she really felt that she needed to hide out, because you don't buy $1 million home anywhere like that if you think that she would have been in London, she would have been hiding somewhere overseas. I think this caught her by surprise. I think that just like Jeffrey, she probably thought that they were never going to arrest her.
For people who aren't as familiar with the facts of these allegations as you are, you've talked to dozens of accusers over the years. Can you put into words how key Ghislaine Maxwell is? I just keep thinking some people might think she's on the sidelines a little bit, and that's not the story that accusers tell.
No, she was a key figure in this. If you think of this as sort of an organized crime unit, she was like a capo. I mean, she was at the very top of this organization. In fact, it would, some people could say that Jeffrey probably couldn't have done what he did without her. She controlled the schedule. She trained everybody. I mean, this was a whole operation, and she wasn't alone. There were other people in the organization that helped her. There were pilots that flew planes. There were women who, in New York, he had employees in New York. She oversaw a lot of his employees and helped put this whole network in place for him to abuse all these young girls.
Mm-hmm. And then real quickly, there's always a possibility when someone is arrested and charged that they could then decide to cooperate with prosecutors. Normally that happens when there's a so-called bigger fish, somebody else.
Didn't happen.
What's the deal? It's your boy Rodney the Boss, multi-platinum and Grammy Award-winning producer of Lil Wayne on the Carter 3, Plies, Lil Boosie, Mr. Magic, Rocco. The list just goes on, you know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with my girl, Amber Alert, on the Takeover on the AATI network.
A is Riff, you rocking with Gemini the Queen.